The future of technology is being shaped by one force more than any other: artificial intelligence, AI. Over the next decade, AI will fundamentally alter how we work, interact, and even think. Already, we are seeing glimpses of the potential of AI. From virtual assistants like Siri and Alexa to self-driving cars, AI is embedded in many aspects of our lives. But this is just the beginning. Experts predict that within the next few years, AI will be capable of doing things that once seemed reserved for science fiction. We're talking about machines that can understand human emotions, machines that learn on their own, and machines that can even make complex decisions, decisions that today require human intelligence. The implications for industries across the board are enormous. Healthcare, for example, is set to experience a revolution thanks to AI. With the ability to analyze vast amounts of data, AI could drastically improve the accuracy of diagnoses, predict medical conditions before they become serious, and even suggest personalized treatment plans. Doctors armed with AI tools would be able to offer better care to patients, especially in remote areas where medical professionals are in short supply. Beyond healthcare, AI is making waves in the workplace. In industries like finance, AI is already being used to detect fraud and optimize investment strategies. In logistics, companies are using AI to manage supply chains more efficiently. But as AI continues to advance, there are concerns. Will AI replace human workers? Will entire industries become obsolete? And if so, what will that mean for the global job market? Moreover, ethical questions about AI are gaining prominence. How much control should we give to machines? Should AI be allowed to make life or death decisions? These questions are already being debated in the halls of governments and tech companies around the world. Some believe that, left unchecked, AI could become dangerous, while others argue that it's the key to solving some of the world's most pressing issues. The future of AI is not just about machines doing things for us. It's about creating new opportunities and solving problems that were once considered unsolvable. As we look ahead, it's clear that AI will shape the future in ways we are only beginning to understand. One of the most anticipated advancements in technology is the rise of autonomous vehicles. For years, we've been told that self-driving cars are just around the corner, but now we are finally seeing them inching closer to reality. In fact, companies like Tesla, Waymo, and many others are already testing fully autonomous vehicles on the roads. The potential impact of autonomous vehicles on our daily lives is profound. Imagine a world where you can hop into a car, input your destination, and relax during the entire trip while the car does all the driving. For many people, the dream of no longer needing to focus on the road or deal with traffic is becoming more tangible. But self-driving cars promise much more than convenience. On a broader scale, autonomous vehicles could help reduce traffic accidents, which are responsible for tens of thousands of deaths every year. Since autonomous cars would be equipped with advanced sensors and AI, they could avoid collisions by reacting faster and more accurately than humans. Additionally, as these vehicles communicate with each other, they could optimize traffic flow, reducing congestion and travel times, which is a major problem in many cities around the world. But as exciting as this all sounds, the road to fully autonomous vehicles is not without its challenges. There are major technological hurdles to overcome before self-driving cars can become mainstream. For instance, cars need to be able to make split-second decisions in complex driving environments. What happens if an autonomous car is faced with an ethical dilemma, such as a potential accident where it has to choose between harming the driver or pedestrians? Another significant issue is how autonomous vehicles will affect jobs. According to some estimates, millions of people work in industries related to transportation, such as truck drivers, delivery drivers, and taxi drivers. If autonomous vehicles become widespread, these jobs could be at risk. However, others argue that this shift could lead to the creation of new jobs in the technology, maintenance, and infrastructure sectors. Beyond jobs, there's also the issue of safety and regulation. Governments around the world are grappling with how to regulate autonomous vehicles. Should they be allowed to drive in all areas, or should there be restrictions on where and when they can operate? Who will be held accountable in the event of an accident? And how can we ensure that these vehicles are secure from hacking or cyber attacks? Despite these challenges, the future of autonomous vehicles is incredibly promising. The technology continues to improve, and as more data is collected from real-world tests, we are getting closer to the day when self-driving cars could become as commonplace as any other vehicle on the road. While AI and autonomous vehicles are grabbing much of the spotlight, another transformative force is quietly reshaping industries across the globe: robotics and automation. From factories to homes, robots are becoming smarter, more versatile, and more capable of taking on tasks that were once reserved for humans. In manufacturing, robots have already revolutionized production lines, performing tasks that are too dangerous, repetitive, or precise for humans. These robots work 24/7, never tiring or needing breaks, and they can perform tasks with incredible accuracy. Companies like Tesla and Amazon are leading the way, using robots to streamline operations and increase efficiency. For example, Tesla's gigafactories employ hundreds of robots to assemble cars, while Amazon uses robots in its warehouses to transport packages and sort inventory. This widespread automation has significant benefits for businesses, especially in terms of reducing labor costs and improving productivity. However, there's a downside as well. As robots take over more tasks, many traditional jobs are at risk of disappearing. For instance, factory workers, drivers, and even customer service agents could see their roles replaced by machines. This could lead to a massive shift in the job market, with millions of workers needing to retrain and adapt to new kinds of employment. However, the effects of robotics and automation go beyond just eliminating jobs. It's also about creating new opportunities. Automation opens the door to new industries and new types of work that didn't exist before. For example, someone might not be assembling products on a factory floor, but they could be programming, maintaining, or managing the robots that are doing the work. As robots become more sophisticated, there will be a growing need for engineers, designers, and technicians who can build, repair, and upgrade these machines. There's also the potential for robots to revolutionize other industries, such as healthcare and education. In healthcare, robots are already being used for surgeries and remote medical assistance, allowing doctors to perform complex procedures with greater precision and minimal risk. In education, robots could become teaching assistants, helping students with personalized learning plans, or even providing companionship to elderly individuals in care facilities. But as robots become more integrated into society, ethical concerns will need to be addressed. What happens if a robot malfunctions or causes harm? Should robots be held to the same ethical standards as humans? And how do we ensure that robots are used responsibly and not to exploit workers or replace jobs unnecessarily? In the coming decades, robotics and automation will continue to change the face of industry. While there will be growing pains, the potential benefits of this technology are enormous, revolutionizing everything from how we work to how we live. As the 21st century progresses, the internet is evolving in ways we never imagined. From the early days of dial-up connections to the high-speed broadband and mobile internet we rely on today, the internet has transformed nearly every aspect of modern life. But now we're on the brink of a new frontier, one that promises to completely redefine how we interact with technology: the metaverse. The metaverse, often referred to as the next iteration of the internet, is an immersive, virtual reality-based environment where users can interact with each other and digital objects in real time. Imagine stepping into a fully realized digital world where you can socialize, work, play, shop, and even create. It's a space where reality and virtuality blend seamlessly, opening up endless possibilities for how we live and work. Tech giants like Facebook, now Meta, Microsoft, and Google are already investing heavily in the development of the metaverse. These companies envision a world where physical limitations no longer exist. People could attend meetings, travel to distant lands, or attend concerts, all from the comfort of their own homes. The metaverse could redefine entertainment, education, and even business, offering new ways for companies to engage with consumers. In the workplace, the metaverse promises to make remote work even more interactive. Imagine attending a virtual office where you can interact with colleagues as if they were in the same room. You could brainstorm ideas in a virtual conference room, tour virtual offices or factories, or attend virtual seminars with experts from around the globe. In many ways, the metaverse could make the concept of working from home more engaging, fostering collaboration, and reducing the sense of isolation that many remote workers experience today. However, like with any new technology, the metaverse comes with its own set of challenges. One of the biggest concerns is the potential for privacy violations and data security risks. As people spend more time in virtual environments, they will be sharing even more personal information. What happens to this data? How will it be protected? Who owns the digital assets created in the metaverse? These questions are still being debated, but one thing is clear. Ensuring that users' data is secure will be critical to the success of the metaverse. Another concern is the potential for social isolation. While the metaverse may allow for new forms of social interaction, it's also possible that people could become more disconnected from the physical world. Could spending too much time in virtual environments lead to a decline in real-world relationships? Or, conversely, will the metaverse enhance social connections by offering new ways to interact with others? Despite these challenges, the metaverse has the potential to be transformative. It could change the way we experience entertainment, education, and even our own sense of identity. Whether it's through virtual reality headsets or augmented reality glasses, the metaverse promises to bring us closer to a future where digital and physical worlds converge in exciting, unexpected ways. As we look toward the future, one of the most ambitious frontiers in technology is space exploration. Space has always fascinated humanity, but in the 21st century, we are on the cusp of a new space race, one that promises to take us beyond the confines of Earth. With advancements in rocket technology, the rise of private space companies, and growing interest from governments worldwide, humanity is preparing for a new era of space exploration and perhaps even colonization. One of the most exciting aspects of space exploration in the coming decades is the possibility of establishing human colonies on other planets, particularly Mars. Companies like SpaceX, led by Elon Musk, are working toward the goal of sending humans to Mars within the next decade. SpaceX's Starship is being designed to transport large numbers of people and cargo to the Red Planet, making interplanetary travel more feasible than ever before. The idea of living on Mars, however, presents numerous challenges. First, we would need to develop sustainable life support systems to provide breathable air, water, and food. Then there's the issue of radiation exposure. Mars does not have a protective magnetic field like Earth, meaning its surface is exposed to harmful cosmic radiation. Developing technologies to shield astronauts from this radiation is critical for long-term missions. Additionally, creating habitats that can withstand the harsh Martian environment, extreme temperatures, dust storms, and low gravity will require significant innovation, but the potential rewards are enormous. Establishing a human presence on Mars could offer new opportunities for scientific discovery as we study the planet's geology, atmosphere, and history. It could also serve as a stepping stone for further exploration, perhaps even opening the door to missions beyond Mars, to moons like Europa or Titan, where life might exist in some form. Beyond Mars, the future of space exploration holds even more tantalizing possibilities. For example, NASA's Artemis program aims to return humans to the moon by 2025, with the goal of establishing a sustainable presence there by the end of the decade. The moon could serve as a launch pad for missions deeper into the solar system, providing a testing ground for technologies that will be necessary for longer journeys, such as to Mars. Space tourism is another exciting frontier. Companies like Virgin Galactic and Blue Origin are already offering suborbital flights to wealthy customers, and as technology advances and costs decrease, space tourism could become more accessible to the public. Imagine being able to take a vacation in space, experiencing weightlessness, and gazing at Earth from the stars. However, space exploration and colonization raise a host of ethical and environmental concerns. As we venture into the cosmos, we must consider our impact on other planets and moons. Will we inadvertently contaminate these pristine worlds with earthly microorganisms? How do we ensure that space exploration benefits all of humanity and doesn't just become a race between the richest nations and corporations? Moreover, the idea of colonizing other planets raises fundamental questions about the future of humanity. Should we focus our efforts on preserving and improving life on Earth? Or is it time to look beyond our planet for a future that could ensure the survival of the human species? Despite these challenges, the future of space exploration is an exciting and inspiring prospect. As we continue to push the boundaries of what is possible, space promises to be the final frontier in the technological revolution of the 21st century. It's a reminder that no matter how advanced our technology becomes, the ultimate frontier for humanity lies beyond the stars.